Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Tesseract. This game supports 1 to 4 players, it's for ages 14 and up, and the average play time is about 60 minutes. I'm still relatively new to this game, so I might get a rule wrong or two, but as I always say, I'm here to spread awareness, have some fun, and show off some really cool games. So this is a cooperative game where players work together to pretty much manipulate dice and get them all filled up on this containment grid over here. There are 4 different dice colors. There's yellow, purple, orange, and blue. And ultimately what you're trying to do is contain dice of each value of the 4 different colors, 1 through 6. So you're going to try and get the blue 1, the blue 2, the blue 3, the blue 4, blue 5, blue 6 filled in here. And the same thing for yellow, purple, and orange. So you're trying to get a total of 24 dice on this containment grid from this Tesseract here. And if players do so, then you win the game. That's how you win. You're trying to get dice over to this containment grid. However, there's a couple of ways you can lose. If the Tesseract runs out of dice completely, you lose. Also, there is a breach track down here. This will fill up over time, and if it gets to the 7, you automatically lose that way. So like I said, this is a cooperative game. Each player is going to get a character, and these characters typically have some kind of inherent passive thing that they can always do, well, typically. And then you've got something on the bottom, which is like a special action. It does use one of their 3 action points, but it's unique to them, which is kind of cool. This computer programmer has a passive ability. If you start your turn with a cube of each color in your lab, which is your player board pretty much, you get to draw a level 3 research card. These research cards over here range from 2 to 3 to 4, 2 being the weakest and 4 being the most powerful. These provide players with unique ways to break the rules. You do not need to spend an action point in order to use these cards. Each player starts the game with 1 of these level 2 cards, just at random. This one says invert 1 primed cube and 1 cube in your lab. That'll make no sense to you right now, but suffice it to say these are just, abilities that we can use as a one-off, and then we discard the card when we're done with them, which is kind of cool. Getting back to the computer programmer here, as an action, you can upload. If there is a cube on this card, transfer it to any player's lab, or you can download. If there's no cube on this card, place a primed cube on it and end your action phase. And I'll get into primed stuff in a minute. The other character here is the quantum mechanic. They have ingenuity. If you take 3 different actions on your turn, you may take a 4th different action. As an action, you can retool, swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube, which is kind of cool. All right, so each player gets a player board. It's pretty much just a lab that can hold a total of 6 dice. You're going to be taking dice from here, adding them to your lab, and trying to create various runs. Here's a quick look at that. A set or run of cubes is valid only if there are 3 or more cubes and they are all the same color or all different colors. And you're trying to create like 3 of a kind or a run of like 2, 3, 4. So I could have, like, again, they all have to be the same color or different colors. So I could have the blue 1, the blue 2, and the blue 3, and that would be a run of 1, 2, 3, all blue, that's fine. Or purple 1, orange 2, and a yellow 3, that's all different colors, a run 1, 2, 3. In doing stuff like that, you can take the contain action, which is one of the 3 things you can do on your turn, and containing is taking dice from your lab and adding them to the containment grid over here. And again, that's how you win the game, typically. So there's other actions that you can take on your turn. You can remove a die from the Tesseract here, but there has to be 3 open faces in order for you to be able to take it. You can adjust, meaning you can increase or decrease a die either in your lab or in this primed area over here by 1, so a +1 or -1 adjustment. You can also contain, which is something I already went over. Transfer, you can give someone else 1 of your dice or vice versa. Study, you can just simply discard a research card that you have and then take 1 of the next value up. So I could get rid of this blue 2 here and take 1 of the yellow 3 because it's the next value up. That costs an action to do. And then each character, again, has some kind of a unique ability, so you can use that as well. So on a player's turn, they're going to take a total of 3 actions, and then after the 3 actions are over, you move on to the threat phase. That is where the Tesseract will start working against players. You're going to take the die that is furthest down in level, and if there's a tie, you take the lowest value. You're going to take that die and roll it, and then place it into this primed area. Now, this is where the breach track comes into play. If you roll a die and add a third die of the same value, so if you have 2 ones here already, and you roll the prime die and you add another one, it's 3 ones, that's when you go up on the breach track. Any die that you add that's 3 or 3 plus on here, that's going to increase the breach. I believe if you have like 6 plus, that even does +2 to the breach, which is nasty. I haven't seen that yet. Hopefully that'll never happen, but you're trying to prevent dice from accumulating in this primed area. So you're managing this as well as trying to get dice from here to here and then from here over to here. Each player is going to have their own lab, and if you're going to play solo like I'm doing today, then you can just control 2 characters and each has their own individual lab. So a couple of things that I didn't go over, I kind of breezed over. Whenever you contain a die, let's say that I have a 1, 1, and a 1, you're going to take one of those ones and contain it. And the other ones, you've got a choice. You can leave them as they are, or you can roll those dice that are part of that set or run. And if you do that, you accept the new values in your lab, and then you get to take a research card, and the number research card that you take depends on how many dice you re-rolled. So if you have a set of 4 and you contain one of them and you re-roll 3, then you're going to take this middle one here. If you have a set of 5 and you contain 1 and you re-roll 4 of them, you're going to take this red one up here. You get the idea. Another thing is over here, there's 6 of these cards face down. There's more in the box, but whenever you get 2 of the same value in a column, so if I get like these 2 filled in, the purple and the orange one, I can then flip the one over and look at it. That is a special card that's kind of like these research cards. They're one-offs that do special things, but they're very powerful. In order to use it, however, you need to get all 4 of that value filled in. So I need to have a blue one, a yellow one, a purple one, and an orange one filled in as part of my containment action, and then I can use that card. If you happen to fill in a row, you can then take a destroyed die and then put it into the Tesseract. Destroyed dice will happen throughout the game, typically when you're getting rid of dice here, like by adjusting it from 1 to 0. That's one way to remove stuff, but there's other ways to get rid of dice and other ways to destroy them. But you can, if you fill an entire row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can take a destroyed die and put it back in the Tesseract. I think with that, we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. The rule book, before we begin, is here. It's about 12 pages, and there's a quick flow chart on the back, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it does a fairly good job. And the box insert is here. There's 2 other labs that we're not using. There are different difficulties in this game. Below these dice, and that's what this little, I don't know, dice racker was used. You slide it down on top here, and then you put dice in here 1 level at a time. That's how you sort of organize them. But before you do that, you're going to choose your difficulty, and that's what these are here. They're double-sided. They've got a number in the middle that will tell you their difficulty. I'm using difficulty 1 right now because I'm not very good at this game, having not really played it yet. So getting to like the other characters that you could be, there's a wide variety of different characters. I love that. So on your future playthroughs, you can choose different characters, and they all do different things. So they will change how you play. There's also these other black cards that we're not using, so these are going to be randomized as well. And I think that just about does it. All right, well, let's begin. We'll start with the, as part of setup, one player is going to take a die and another player is going to take a die from one of the corners. And then the other 2 are rolled and primed into the primed area. So we got to figure out now between these 2 characters who wants to take what and who wants to go after what. So I'm thinking maybe there's a 1, a 1. I'm looking for another 1, but I don't see it. There's a 1 and a 2 of different colors. There's also a 3 here. So maybe this 1, 2, 3 combo might work for one player. And as far as the other player is concerned, there's a 5, There's another 5. Okay, so maybe, all right, so one player is going to take this one. Maybe this computer programmer will take that in there. And the other player is going to take this blue 5 and add it to their lab. That means these other two here are going to be taken and then rolled and primed. So we're just going to roll those. A 5 and a 3. Okay. So now the game actually begins, and one player is going to take 3 actions. There is a action marker that you can use if you want to. It goes over top these labs here. I'm just going to add it to that one. So the computer programmer's special ability, if you start your turn with a cube of each color in your lab, draw a level 3 research card. So I kind of want to do that as much as possible. I think what I'm going to do for this player is take this orange one here, this orange 2, and I'm going to take this purple 3 because 3 faces are showing. Now I could, as my third action, contain one of them. However, like the ability says, if you start your turn with a cube of each color in your lab, then draw a level 3 research card. I would rather either take this 2 or this 1 here to sort of get that going for my ability, and then I'll contain. So I'm going to try and manipulate that as much as I can. So I'm going to be taking 3 grab actions. May not be the best thing to do, but I'm going to take this blue one to try and possibly clear the way for these 5s over here. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Okay. Or do I take... I'm going to take a blue 2 here, because there are a bunch of 2s here, and if I can get 3 2s of different colors together as well, then I'll be able to make use of this as well. Anyway, so let's go ahead, and that ends my turn. That was just 3 grab actions. I had 3 remove actions. So now the threat phase is going to hit, and we're going to look at the lowest level. There's which is this second level here. And there's a 1 there, and a 1 there, and a 1 there. I'm thinking we take this purple one here. Although that 1 and that 2, there's no 3s. I'm going to go ahead and take this purple one here, and it's going to be rolled, and it's a 1. So that goes there. All right, and that ends the threat phase. So now this player is going to go. So let's take a look. Now, the quantum mechanics ability is, if you take 3 different actions on your turn, you may take a 4th different action. As a retool, swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. So, like, I could take this blue one and, for whatever reason, you know, take, I don't know, I don't know what the right move would be with that, but maybe we'll do that. But I'm going to try and take 3 different actions so that I can take a 4th different action. So maybe I remove 1. There's also an adjust feature. Maybe what we'll do is not contain, transfer. I can give that player I could study, adjust 1 cube in your lab. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start with a research action for the heck of it. So this is discarded. Any cards that are discarded are permanently removed from the game. So that was 1 action, and we get a level 3 research card. Destroy 1 cube in your lab to destroy all identical primed cubes. That's not bad, not great either, but it is what it is. I do want to take a grab action here, but the question is, what do I take? Maybe this 6, and then if I get a 4 in the future, I could then... that 4 might work, actually, but I can't take it this turn and then also make use of this. So I think I'm going to take that yellow 6. And that was my second action. Now I need to take a different action to get that going. So I did the study and I did the remove. And you know what? Just to keep track, I'm going to forget what I did. I'm going to use these other action markers temporarily to sort of mark what I've already done. So I've studied, and these are too big. Oh well, I'll just try and keep track myself then. Okay, study, and I remove. That's 2. Let's see. I could transfer one of those over. I'm going to go ahead and adjust. I'm going to adjust this 1 and make it a 0 and just destroy it. So that's off. So that was 3 different actions, and now I can take a 4th different action. Now, what would that 4th different action be? I can contain, but I don't have enough dice to do that. I could transfer. Swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. here's what I'll do, actually. I'm going to change the... I'm going to swap the 6 for the 5, like that. Although, there's no 5. There's a 5 there. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so that's fine. That's a 4th different action. Is there something else I could have done? Study, unique, transfer, contain. No. Okay. I guess that's good for now. Okay, so that was 4 different actions that I took, so I got to use that ability. Now we're going to move into the threat thing. It wants to take the lowest die, and which is this one here. It's going to roll, and it is a 1. Okay, so that is now there. And now this player gets to take their turn. They started their turn with a cube of each color in my lab, so draw a level 3 research card. Adjust 2 primed cubes, which is, again, a plus or minus on one of these. So I could switch this back down to 5 if I really wanted to, or maybe get rid of that. I can use these at any time on my turn, which is nice. But let's go ahead and possibly, let's go ahead and do one of these. I'm going to probably score one of these and put it into containment, and then try and grab a cube of that color that I put into containment. So there's a 1, 2, and 3. I'm thinking I'm going to do the purple 3, and the reason for that, whenever you contain a die, if there is an exact copy of that die in the primed area, you can get rid of it. So I'm going to go ahead and prime, or not prime, but I'm going to contain the purple 3. The 1 and the 2 were part of that run. So now I've got a choice. Well, let's get rid of that. We'll destroy it. But now I've got a choice. I can either keep these as is, or I can re-roll these and get a level 2 research card. I kind of want to keep things as is because I've got a 1 and a 2 set up of different colors. I've got a 2 and a 2 set up of different colors. So I'm going to keep it as is. So I think I'm going to just leave it at that. I guess I should do that. I contained once. I've got 2 actions left. And I really want a 3 or another 2. This purple 2 is looking good, so maybe I take this purple 2, but if I contain right now again, I lose this ability coming up for my next turn. I want to keep doing that as much as possible, so I don't want to contain yet. Maybe I grab something for future endeavors. Is there a 3 of, not a orange or a yellow, but is there a purple 3 or a blue 3 anywhere? I don't see it. I could take this yellow 2 and then adjust it to a 3 if I wanted to do that. Or I could take, is there a yellow 2? I could take the yellow 2. I'm going to do that. The reason is this is now a run of 4, which is great. So I'll be able to, if I re-roll everything, which I may end up doing, I'll be able to, when I contain one of these 2s, take that yellow card there. So that was 3 actions. I think I'm done with that. Okay, so that was 3 actions, I believe, because I took 2 dice. So now we're going to move into the threat phase, and this is the lowest one, and this is going to roll in. It's a 4. Now, this revealed a symbol, and this is bad. All these symbols are always bad. That is the chain reaction. Prime the lowest cube on the Tesseract. So we're going to repeat everything that we just did with the threat phase. The lowest is a 1 here sticking out, so I'm going to take that 1, and it is a 2, so that goes right there. Okay, so now it is this player's turn, and they really want to start working on these 5s. Luckily, there's a lot of 5s opening up there. And this is actually good. Again, we're trying to do different actions with this character to make use of 4 different actions if we can. Destroy 1 cube in your lab. Destroy all identical primed cubes. Don't really need to do that. I'm really tempted to take this 5 and this 5 to create a large run of 5s. That would be great. But again, I can't take both and make use of this ability. So I got to figure out, do I take 2 different 5s and add them here and just contain, or do I just take one of them? I'm going to go ahead and take one of the orange ones here. That's 1 action. And Swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. I don't think I want to do that. I did the remove, adjust. I'm going to possibly... You see, there's no reason for me to do 4 actions this turn. I can adjust and then contain. But you know what? I'm going to do that. So I'm going to, as my first action, I took the orange. The second action, I'm going to adjust this 1 into a 0, and then that destroys it. For my third action, I'm going to contain, which I'm just going to use these 3 as a run. And what would I contain? There are no 5s here, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and get the orange 1 and contain the orange 5. That was my third action. I'm going to keep these 5s as is without re-rolling them. Now for my fourth action, I get to do something different. Whether it's I can't remove, cannot adjust, can't contain. I can transfer, study, or unique. Swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. I think I'm going to take the research action, or the study action, discard that, and just draw one of these, which are like super powerful. Return 1 primed cube to the Tesseract. That's actually not bad. Reverse time. That's going to be super helpful. If we get a second one of anything, we can then use that to add it back. But that was our fourth action with this special ability, and now we move on to the threat phase. So the lowest one is this blue one over, actually, yeah, the blue one. So we're going to take that blue one, and we're going to roll it, and it is a 4. That's not great. Okay. All right, unfortunately we can't use this on another player's turn. However, we are now onto this character. And if you, at the start of your turn, have 1 die of each color, then you get to take a level 3 research card. So we're going to keep doing that as much as possible. Adjust 1 primed cube and 1 cube in your lab. Okay, I think we're going to, however, contain this. And the question is, what do we contain? I think we contain the yellow 2, like so. And that also removes this primed thing here. That was 1 action. The second action, I kind of want to do another 2, but I need to make sure that I pick up whatever color that I get rid of. So if I say do the orange 2, so yeah, if I do the orange 2, I want to pick up one of these here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the, or what do I want to contain with my second action? Oh boy, what do I contain? It's going to be, oh gosh. You know what, let's just, just to keep the video moving, I could math this out, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and contain the orange 2. That actually reveals this here. And we can't use it yet, but we need, once we get 4 2s, we'll be able to do that. Take a primed cube and place it on this card. The next time a primed cube of this value would cause a breach, destroy it and this cube and ignore the breach. So it's a get out of jail free card for a die over here, which is kind of nice for a particular value. Okay, so that was our second action. I'm not going to reroll the 2s. I think we're going to keep them that way because we've got a possible 2-2, another 2, or 1-2-3. Speaking of which, there is an orange 3 here that I will take as part of my third action. And we still have 1 die of each color in our lab, which is great. Okay, so I'm going to end my turn with that, and now we move on to the threat phase. We're going to take the lowest one, which is this 5 here, and roll it. It is a 1. Now, it revealed this little shield, Fortify. Reroll the lowest primed cube. So we take this and just reprime it. It is a 5, which is up here. Okay, so now it is this player's turn. And I'm very tempted to reverse time and re-add a 4 on there just to get that going. I'm going to try and take one of each, 1 action of each type so I can get a 4th if I can. I think I take, let's go ahead and do the orange 5. So that's my first action, take the orange 5. Second action, I really want to grab that purple 5 and create a larger run. That would be cool. But I think I'm just going to contain For my second action, I think I'm going to contain the blue 5. Yeah, I'm going to contain the blue 5 so that this blue 5 goes away. And I'm not going to reroll them. So that was my second action. For my third action, I did a take and I did a contain. So I need to do something different to get that fourth free action. So remove and contain. I can adjust. I can transfer. I can study. I can't really study this anymore. Unique. I don't want to swap anything. I think what I'm going to do is adjust this 4 and make it a 5. So that's my third action. Adjust this 4, actually into a 3. Why would I go up? That's silly. I'm going to make it a 3 instead of a 4. So that was my third action. That was 3 unique actions. So I could take a fourth action potentially, but the question is, it has to be different, and what do I do with it? Remove, contain, adjust. So transfer, nah. Study, I can't study that. Unique, which is swap. So that maybe not the best thing. I was hoping to get a fourth action in there, but I don't think I can do any of this. Yeah. Swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. You know what I could have done? Oh, it doesn't matter. I could have, here's what I'll do instead. I'm going to adjust this back to a 4 and make this a 5. I'm going to do that. And then for my fourth action, I'm going to swap this orange one with this purple one. And the reason is I've already got an orange one. I want to get a purple and a yellow one in there. So that was my fourth. I did a little backtracking there, but it should all be kosher now. That's the end of my turn, and now the threat phase. So the lowest one is this yellow 4. We're going to take that off there and roll it, and it is a 4. Okay, but that's it. Now this one is going to get added and reveal something on this player's next turn, which is bad. But at the beginning of his turn, he's going to draw a free level 3 research card because he's got 1 die of each color, which is great. This is take the lowest value primed cube, re-roll it, and place it in your lab. That's actually really good. I don't want to use these until we start running out of options. So I want to build a bunch up and then just slam the end game real good. 1, 2, 3. If there was a blue 4, that would be great, or another 2 would be great. Let's see. This is upload. If there is a cube, okay, so if there's no cube on this card, place a primed cube on it and then end your action phase. Ooh. So as part of my last action, I may want to grab one of these 4s, which may not be a bad thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I really want to get something primed if I can this turn. Maybe I work on the 2s. But I don't see a whole lot of options there. Oh boy. There's an orange 3, which I already have an orange 3. It doesn't make any sense to do that. What I could do is take the orange 3 and contain it for my second action and then not reroll anything. And that way I still have an orange 3 for the 1, 2, 3, 4 combo I intend to do. So I think I'm going to take this orange 3, add it to my lab. That was one action. Second action, 1, 2, 3 as part of my run. And I'm going to leave them as is and just put this 3 out here like so. And yeah, that was my second action. And for my third action, maybe take 1, 2, 3. Again, I want a blue 4. So maybe I do this. I'm going to upload. Or download. If no cube is on this card, place a prime cube on it and end your action phase. Okay, so I'm going to take this blue one and add it to this card. And on my next turn, I'll upload it to my lab, which is, that's something I need. But it also sort of clears this out of it. All right, so that's it for that. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the threat phase. This 4 would go away. Is there something I should do before I do that? No, there's no way for me to move things around. Okay, fine. So this 4 is going to go away and reveal that chain reaction, which is awful. Ooh, that's a 6. Okay, so this chain reaction, it's going to happen again. We take the lowest cube on here, which is the blue 5. Roll that. Don't be a 6. It's a 3. And there's that. All right, and that's it. So now we move on to the quantum mechanic. Again, return 1 primed cube to the Tesseract. I'm going to go ahead and use this to return one of these 2 6s on top of this to sort of prevent that from showing up. So which one do I put on there? It doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to take this orange one and place it there. Okay. And again, I was able to do that because return 1 primed cube to the Tesseract. Okay. All right. So we've got 3 actions, and if I take unique ones, I can take a 4th. But I'm not really sure. I really want to take this one. This one here. And I think I'm going to contain for my second action. So I'm going to contain one of these 5s, and I've already got an orange contained, so I can't do that. So maybe a different one. Maybe there's a purple one there. So I'm going to contain the purple one so I can grab that and then contain the yellow one on a future turn. Actually, there's a yellow one right there. So maybe I contain the yellow one and then, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and contain the yellow one. We should have revealed the 5. I forgot to do that because there is 2 dice here. The 5 is this one. Take 2 primed cubes and place them in your lab. Okay, again, we can't use that yet. That was my second action. I was containing. I'm not going to re-roll these, although I really want to, so I can... no, I'm not gonna. I want to re-roll them, but at the same time, I want to keep up with these 5s and just knock them out and be done with it. Because I'm set up there. So my last action is going to be... it's either going to take this yellow 5 and end my turn, or if I take a unique one, which is not remove or contain, I can adjust. But then what would I do after that? Transfer, unique, it doesn't really help. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this yellow one over here so I can end my turn. And that sets me up for these 5s over here on my future turn. All right, well, now we're going to contain. So we're going to look at the lowest one. There is a 2 here. So we're going to take that orange 2, roll it, and it is a 1. All right, not terrible. All right, on to the computer programmer. Let's see. Okay, so we started our turn with 4 dice of different colors, so we get a yellow one. This is actually really powerful. If we can just keep going with that, that would be great. Okay. I kind of want to do a run here. Oh, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and upload, bring it from here to here. If there is a cube on this card, transfer it to any player's lab. So that's one action. Now I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, which is great. Again, I would love to get a card by re-rolling after containing, but I don't feel like I need to. This guy is a card machine, so I don't think I really need to re-roll dice. Just focus on getting the dice that I need. In this case, I'm thinking maybe the 1 of the 4, so we still have a run of a 2, 3, 4 going. That might be the best thing to do. Yeah, so maybe I do the 1. Let's just go ahead and contain the 1. And then I need to take a yellow one on, well, is there a yellow die I can grab? I prefer not to. Maybe I do the 4. That way I still have 4 dice of different colors. So I'm going to do the blue 4 instead. And I'm not going to re-roll anything. That was my second action. And for my third action, if I contain now, I lose this advantage. But I have all these guards, so maybe I contain anyway. For my third action, take the lowest value primed cube, re-roll it, and place it into... That's not terrible. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to... Oh, I got a 3. Darn it. I was going to score that and then use this card to re-roll this back in. That would have been great. Destroy one primed cube. This is adjust one primed cube and one cube in your lab. Okay, and this is adjust two primed cubes. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. For my third action, I feel like I need to start containing. As much as because we're getting rid of dice here very quickly. I could do another upload and get rid of another dice, but 1, 2, 3, gosh. Okay. So wait a minute. I should still have two actions because I contained right at the beginning of my turn. So I should still have two actions left, not one. Okay. And if I missed that, I apologize. If I give myself too many actions, it happens. All right. So what do I do with this? I kind of want to just see if I grab this yellow 2, that reveals something under there, which is bad. 1, 2. Is there a purple 3 anywhere? I don't see that. 1, 2, 3. Well, here's the thing. I could do this. I could take the purple 4 for my second action, and for my last action, contain 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll contain this purple 4. That'll work. And leave everything as is. That works. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, so my turn is over. I'm pretty sure. And then we're going to go ahead and do the threat phase. That means this one is going away. 4, and it revealed a shield, the fortify. So we take the lowest die and re-roll it, and it's a 4. This is our first breach. That's bad. We want to get rid of those 4s as quickly as possible, I think. Okay, so now we move on to this player here. She's got 3 5s. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this blue 5 as one action. I'm going to contain as part of my second action. And I am going to re-roll these dice because even though they're all 5s, we don't need any more 5s. We can now use this 5 up here, take 2 prime cubes and place them in your lab. I'm going to take these 2, actually, before I do that, I'm going to re-roll these. 3, 4, 6, and get a yellow card because I re-rolled 3 dice. And I definitely want to use that to get rid of these 2 4s and add them. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So this card is going to be used immediately. Take 2 primed cubes and place them in your lab. And I can do that because I've got all the 5s now. So this is now gone out of the game. And I'm going to take these 2 and add them to their lab. That was a free action. So I didn't contain. I didn't grab, or did I? I forgot what I did. I contained the 5. No, I grabbed one, then I contained. So I did remove and I did contain. And I've got 1 action left. I feel like containing again, but do I transfer one of those over here? Is there something that the guy over here could use? This 3 maybe. Although this 1 doesn't jive well with it. This orange 6 doesn't jive well with it. Okay, maybe we leave it as is. I think we're going to start containing more aggressively now. So rather than take a separate third action, she's going to contain again. And she's going to contain this yellow 4 so that we can get rid of this yellow 4. And is she going to re-roll these? The answer is no, because we want to get this. We want to get this orange 4 there. So we're kind of set up for that. So I kind of want to get that done. We can now see what this is. We probably should have done that earlier. Each researcher takes a destroyed cube, re-rolls it, and places it in their lab. And we have enough 3s as well, which is this one here. And this one says, contain 1 primed cube. Okay. All right, so that was 3 actions for her. Does she want to do this? Take 1 cube from the Tesseract and place it in your lab. You may adjust it. I don't think we're going to do that right now. Okay, so now the threat phase, we're going to take the lowest die on here. It's either going to be this one, this purple 3, or this purple 3. I don't think it matters. We'll take this purple 3 there, and they're going to roll it, and it is a purple 3. Okay. All right, so now it is the computer programmer's turn. Once again, there's 1 cube of each color, so they're going to grab a level 3 card, and we're going to have to put those to use at some point. Now, once this deck runs out, we have no access to that anymore. So I feel like we'll get the cards as soon as we can, and then once these are clear, we'll just start not worrying about his special ability. All right, so 3 actions. What am I going to do? We need to get rid of one of those 3s if possible, but I don't think it can happen. 1, 2, 3 is a run. Do I want to get one of those out there? But then I need to grab... The yellows are really hard to come by right now. They're really hard. So I really... Maybe we go ahead and work on this one and just get that out there and be done with it. That might be a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and I'm going to contain it. That was my first action. Do I want to re-roll the 2 and the 3? No, because these 2s out here, I need to get those done. Second action. This is awful. For my second action, maybe I start using these. Set a cube in your lab to any value. I think I'm just going to adjust this 2, or this 3 to a 2 as my second action. And then for my third action, I'm going to prime one, or I'm going to contain one of those 2s. I'm going to put this, blue 2 out here, so I can then take that blue 2 later and then score the purple one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and keep everything as is. And that should end that. Okay, so now the threat phase, the lowest one is this 1 here. We're going to grab that. We're going to roll it. It is a 1. And that reveals a new icon. Accelerate. Destroy the lowest cube on the Tesseract. The lowest cube is this purple 3 over here. Just destroy it. Okay. It is now this player's turn, who has a little bit more to work with. 3, 4, 6. Maybe we adjust one of these to a 5, but that wouldn't help any. Okay. I don't like these 3s over here. Take 1 cube from the Tesseract and place it in your lab. You may adjust it. That could be useful. Or I can take that 1 study action and get another powerful red card. That would be nice. Okay. 3, 4, 5. I need a 5 in here. I could bring this down to a 5 or this up to a 4, or from this 4 to a 5 or 6 to a 5. And then get a 3, 4, 5 and then put that 3 down there. That might be worth it. Yeah, I think we do that. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this die from a 6 to a 5. And I'm going to contain the 3 out of the 3, 4, 5 run. And I think I'm going to leave the dice as is because I really want to get this orange 1 scored at one point. So I contained, I adjusted. I hadn't removed yet. If I can find another 4 that is an orange or blue, that would be awesome, but I don't see one. Maybe I take that purple 5 and then adjust it on a future turn. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that purple 5. That was my third action. However, because I took 3 unique actions, I did remove, adjust, and contain. Of my fourth action, I could swap something out. I needed a purple 4. I could take... Is there anything out here that I want? What I'm going to do is... It wouldn't matter. For my fourth action, I think I'm going to study. I'm going to take out mass removal and take one of these, which is salvage. Take 2 destroyed cubes, roll them, and place them into your lab of your choice, into labs of your choice. That's really good. All right, well, now we're going to move into threat, and this one goes away, unfortunately. So that goes, and that rolls. It is a 5. That's not good. And that revealed this. Destroy the lowest cube in the Tesseract, and the lowest cube looks like it's that orange 6 there. Yeah, so we're going to just remove that and destroy it. All right, it's getting messy. Getting a little messy. Okay, now for this guy's turn, unfortunately, he doesn't have one of each color to really make use of that. But at this point, I feel like we've got a lot of cards to work with. What we really need now is a yellow 2 or a blue 2 so that we can get this last purple 2 going. Luckily, there's a blue 2 sitting out here. I'm going to take that one for 1 action. For my next action, I'm going to contain this one, and I'm going to re-roll these. It's a 6 and a 5. Not bad. And I get to take a blue card because I re-rolled 2 dice. And I have 1 more action left. Now that I have a 4/2, so now I can make use of this ability, which is take a primed cube and place it on this card. The next time a primed cube of this value would cause a breach, destroy it and ignore the breach. Okay, so what I'm thinking, I'm going to do a 5, and the reason for that is we cannot contain 5s anymore and destroy these naturally. So I'm going to take one of these and just safeguard the number 5. So I'm going to put that on here. And the next time a 5 would cause a breach, this is destroyed instead, which is kind of nice. Okay. So I have 1 more action left, correct? I have a 6 and a 5. If I could find a 4 of purple or yellow, but I don't think there is anything like that. I might take the upload, but what would I take? There's a 6. We don't have any 6s yet, and I'm a little concerned about that. So what if I work on 6s with this character? I could take a 3 as well and then up that to a 4. So maybe I take this one and add it to my card as the download phase. It also safeguards another breach there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then on a future turn I'll add this and then up it to a 4 and then do another run. I think that's going to be the right thing to do. Before I end my turn, is there anything here that would help? Set a cube in your lab to any value. I could use that for that. Adjust 1 primed cube and 1 cube in your lab. I could also do that. Destroy 1 primed cube. I probably should have done that before, but take the lowest value primed cube, re-roll it, and place it in your lab. I'm going to hold on to that for now, and on my next turn, I'll start using these. All right, so we are going to... Or do I use it now? Because we're about to reveal something else. No, I'll go ahead and do it now. So that does that. 5, and this chain reaction, it happens again. This 5 goes to 2. Okay. All right, so now we move on to this player's turn. 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay, we need to get a take 2 destroyed cubes, roll them, and place them into labs of your choice. I kind of want to use that now, but at the same time, I kind of want to like use what I have. Because I need to get this last 4 out, and I need to get so I need a purple 4. So I think I'm going to just adjust this 5 into a 4. For my first action. I'm going to contain as part of my second action, and I'm going to contain the orange 4, like so. And I'm going to re-roll these 4s. 4 and a 2. And I get a blue card for that. And for my last action, let's see, I adjusted and I contained. I'm going to study. I'm going to take this and I think up it to the yellow one there. I'm going to study and take the next one up. Invert any 2 cubes not on the Tesseract. Okay. And that gives me a 4th unique thing to do because I took all 3 unique actions. So swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. What if I don't want to do that? Transfer. I could transfer something over to them to help them out. But what would I give them? Remove. I didn't remove anything yet. So maybe I remove a cube. But I really don't want to help the Tesseract any more than I already have. We're also low on 1s. I think I'm going to grab this purple 1 here. Yeah, I'm going to grab this purple 1 so that I can maybe work with 1s in the future because I need that purple 1. And I've got a purple 2 here. I guess that makes sense. So that's 4 unique actions that I took, which is allowed. Before I end my turn, is there anything? Invert any 2 cubes not on the Tesseract. And take 2 destroyed cubes and roll them and place them in labs of your choice. I want to hold on to that until I want particular, like toward the end of the game, it's going to get rough because I'm not going to know what numbers I'm going to need. Right now, it's 1s and 6s for the most part. Invert any 2 cubes not on the Tesseract. Yeah, I don't think. I kind of want to roll dice for the computer specialist. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and give him 2 different color. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna salvage. I'm gonna take 2 destroyed dice. I'm gonna take purple and yellow. Roll them and place them into their lab. That way they have unique dice colors in their lab for the start of their next turn. They can draw another card. Makes sense. Okay. So that ends her turn. She can now do the threat phase at 5 is going. It is a 1, and that revealed a chain reaction, so we have to do that again. This 1 goes away, and it's a 2. All right, so now we need to start using abilities to get rid of this. This is becoming problematic here. Okay, so now the computer programmer is going to go. We've got a lot of cards. Let's start making use of them. Set a cube in your lab to any value. Adjust 1 prime cube and a cube in your lab. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, can I adjust one of these? 1, 2... I don't want to use the purple one because it's silly. What would I adjust if I could adjust something? Maybe I'm gonna adjust this 5 into a 6. So I'm gonna take this major ripple, adjust 1 primed cube and 1 cube in your lab. I'm gonna adjust this one to a 6, and then adjust this 1 into nothing. I'm gonna do the yellow one. The yellow one's already contained, so I can't get rid of it naturally. So I'm gonna get rid of that. So that's 1 down. Next, set a cube in your lab to any value. That's kind of nice. Maybe I just work on the 6s and just get those knocked out. So I forgot to draw a yellow card, didn't I? I can't remember if I did. At the beginning of my turn, I was able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Take +1 action this turn if I use it. Set a cube in your lab to any value. I'm going to go ahead and do this purple 2 into a 6. Just to start getting rid of these cards because there's so many of them for me to keep track of. Take the lowest value prime cube, re-roll it, and place it in your lab. That would be this orange 1, but I'm not sure if I really need to do that. Adjust 2 primed cubes. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to adjust 2 primed cubes. I'm going to get rid of that one, and then adjust this 2 into a 1. Actually, the purple 2 instead. Purple 2 into a 1. Okay, so that card's gone. Draw 3 unused character cards immediately. Oh, I guess I didn't do. Play this card to use one of their abilities for no cost. Oh, interesting. Maybe I should do that instead. So it just says draw 3. I'm just going to take the top 3 off the deck here. So once per turn, you may relocate. I think it's one of their actions, though, to one of their abilities for no cost. Okay, so I can use one of their actions for no cost if I want to use this card. It's the downside of using this guy. Like, I have card overload right now, and I don't know what to do with it all. If I were to do something, set a cube on any lab to any value. That could be useful. I think I might do that with. I think I'm just gonna do that. Set a cube on any lab to any value. So I'm just gonna burn this right now. Draw 3 unused character cards immediately. Play this card to use one of their abilities for no cost. I'm going to use the translate. Set a cube on any lab to any value. That just makes sense. I'm not even going to look at the other ones. I'm sure they could have helped me out, but I'm trying to keep the video moving. I'm going to play that card, and I'm going to then adjust this to a 6. This will allow me to get those other 6s scored as quickly as possible. What else do I have? Take +1 action this turn. I might as well. So I think I'm going to do that and take 4 actions this turn. Well, before I do that, let's see. Take the lowest value. Okay, I'm going to start containing. So I'm going to score the yellow one, I think, like so. And I'm not going to re-roll them. Now, because I filled in an entire row here, this allows me to take a destroyed die from here and place it back into the lab. I'm just going to put this 5 on top of this 6 to prevent that next thing from revealing. So that's done. That was action number 1. Action number 2, I'm going to contain the 6. Like that. And that was my second act. I want to keep the dice as is. That will reveal this 6 here. Draw 3 unused character cards. Immediately play this card to use up to 3 of their abilities. Wow, at no cost. Just to keep things fair, I'm not going to use that. I can't use it now, but I'm going to put the 3 that I drew before to the back. That way we've got new ones. And what sucks is that there's like doubles here. So I'm going to like just take 3 different ones like so. Okay, anyway, that's going to be for later. Okay, I have 1 action left. I think I'm going to take this orange 6, and then I'm going to play this 1 card that lets me take +1 actions this turn, so I can then contain again. I'm going to contain this purple 6 here, and by the way, when I contain this yellow 6, this should have gone away. Forgot to do that. Okay, not bad, not bad. And I'm going to keep them as is because I want to get a blue 6 out there when I need another 6 somewhere. That wasn't bad. I mean, we burned a lot of cards in the process, but we got most of those 6s done, and now we can just sort of focus on those 1s. We still have this purple 3 out here, but, you know, so it goes. All right, so the containment, or the threat phase, the lowest one is this blue 5 that we placed out here from before. That gets rolled, and it's a 3 that goes there. All right, it is now her turn. The quantum mechanic. What do we do with her? Invert any 2 cubes not on the Tesseract. We've got a 1, a 2, and I want to get a 3 if I can, a purple 3. But I don't see that happening, which is unfortunate. How do I get this 1 out there? Because there's a spot for a 1. I need to get that done. I can invert. I could invert this 4 into a 3 and this 5 into a 2. I think I'm going to do that just for the fun of it. I'm going to polarity shift. Invert any to any 2 cubes not on the Tesseract. Although, should I save them for 6s? Maybe I save them for 6s. And then I can easily get them over to 1s and then just finish those off. Maybe we work on this blue 3 instead. What can we do about this blue 3? I can swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube. Oh, perfect. But if I swap this orange 5, that will breach this, and I don't really want to do that. What if I take this 4 and swap it with this? What was I doing? Oh yeah, one of these blue 3s. There we go. Okay, that works. So that was 1 action. Second action, I've got 2, 3, 5. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to adjust this to a 4. That's my second action. Third action, I'm going to contain 2, 3, 4. I'm going to contain the blue 3. And I'm going to re-roll these, I think, and get a blue card out of it. Oh, there's a purple 1 and an orange 5. That gives me a blue card. And I contained a blue 3, so this blue 3 is destroyed. And I'm pretty sure there was something else. Oh yeah, I did 3 separate actions this turn. I didn't take, but I did adjust, and I did her special action, and I contained, that's 3. Now for a fourth different one, I can transfer something. I could study. I'm going to go ahead and study adjust a cube in your lab. Actually, I'm going to keep that, make that I'm going to actually do that now. No, I'll wait. I can make that a 6 and then invert it into a 1. I kind of like that. Anyway, I could remove something. I'm going to go ahead and remove this blue 1. It's just sitting there. Actually, this is going to be here a while. I think I'm going to take the yellow 1. And that's going to help me with the blue 1 and the purple 1 coming up. Okay, so threat phase. We're going to take the lowest cube, which is this orange 6, roll it, and it's a 5. Now, breach shield. Take a primed cube and place it on this card. The next time a primed cube of this value would cause a breach, destroy it and this cube and ignore the breach. So this goes away, and destroyed and this cube. I'm assuming you can only do that once. Destroy it and this cube and ignore the breach. Yeah, I'm guessing that also, it doesn't say to get rid of the card, but I'm going to play nice and say you can only use this once and that's it. Okay, so that wasn't bad. Now, I think that revealed that, didn't it? So I have to do this again. That would be this 6 here, which is a blue 6, kind of what we needed. It's a 1. Okay, not bad. All right, so moving on to the computer programming phase. We need some 6s. We need one more 6, really. That's actually not terrible. I could take this purple 1 for 1 action. I'm going to adjust it to a 6 for a second action. And for my last action, I'm just going to prime the blue 6. Done. I mean, that's pretty fast, but it is what it is. That means we can use, we can start using any 3 of these, which is great. This is, each researcher takes a destroyed cube, re-rolls it, and places it in their lab. I think we just start using these now to help us with getting the last set of 1s done. I'm also going to re-roll these for a blue card, a 5 and a 1. Okay. So that was, each researcher takes a destroyed cube and places it in their lab. So I'm thinking we get a blue for this character and maybe a yellow for, not yellow. Yeah, yellow. That's fine. So we're going to roll. It's a 2. And roll. It's a 3. And this one is draw 3 unused character cards. We'll save that for later. And contain 1 primed cube. Well, that works for me. I'm just going to do that now and contain the... We've got purple here, so I'm going to contain the blue one. That's actually really nice. We can reveal this now, but we really can't use it. Take +3 actions this turn. That would have been nice to have earlier, but so it goes. I'm going to put the unused ones down here as a reminder that I can use them. Or I can't use the 1. I can't use this one yet, but I can still use this one. Okay. Do I do this now? Draw 3 unused character cards immediately. Play this card to use up to 3 of their abilities at no cost. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Destroy a primed cube that matches an identical cube in your lab. Transfer 2 cubes between any player's labs. Does that have to be different abilities? Play this card to use up to 3 of their abilities at no cost. It doesn't say like I have to like 1, 2, 3. I guess I could do 1, 2, 3. Transfer 2 cubes between any player's labs. I kind of want to transfer this orange over here so that, because it's their turn next. You know what? Let's do the threat phase. Let's see. Destroy prime cube. Contain a cube from your lab if there are 3 or more of that value in the... Okay, so let's just hold off on that. Let's do the threat phase. And that's this one here. 4. So that 4 goes here. Okay, not terrible. So yeah, I think we just move on to this player's turn here. And yeah, okay, so let's just try and get these ones done and be done with it. For 1 action, I think we... is there adjust 1 cube in your lab, invert any... Okay, so adjust 1 cube in your lab. I'm going to adjust... Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to adjust this 2 into a 1. For free. Next thing I want to do is contain a purple one. And that gets rid of this purple one. I am not going to re-roll anything. And that was 1 action. And now I need 2 actions. And if I can just somehow like get an orange in there, I win. Invert. No. Swap a cube. No. I need an orange one. Okay, I'm just going to transfer this one from this player, and then I'm going to, there, done. All right, so there you go, folks. I'm pretty sure I got all the rules right, but typically, you know, it's always debatable. This is my second playthrough of this game, and I absolutely love it. This game was easier for me this time out. Our first game, it was really tight. We were actually on number 6 breach. Before we won. In this game, I felt like with the characters that I chose, I had more control over this. This computer programmer, as long as you play the board right and keep 4 dice of different colors in here consistently, these cards are like super powerful. I really like that. I don't know if I was doing this right. It doesn't say to limit... Yeah, if you start your turn with a cube of each color in your lab, draw a level 3 research card. So... that's probably what he's good at. So I played to his strengths, and that was really helpful. This quantum mechanic, not so much. I thought having 4 actions here would have been really good, but at the same time, I felt like that 4th action wasn't going to be helpful for that particular thing at that point in time. Although being able to swap a cube in your lab with a primed cube, that's really good if you're looking for something in particular or trying to prevent groups from forming up. But I love the theme. I love the art style. Sometimes the dice are hard to read, like 1s, 2s, like I have to count the dots. Sometimes I mistake 5s for 3s or whatever. But I love the cards. Playing the solo and having a bunch of cards is like sometimes a little information overload. So that's the only thing. That's more of a me problem than a game problem. But yeah, the next game I play, I want to try different characters and see what I can do with them. I'm really looking forward to giving this game another go. I like the difficulty as is for this level 1. Again, if you find this a bit too challenging still, you can, in my review video, we kind of went over different ways to modify the game to make it easier. Give yourselves more actions per turn. Only do 1 symbol per game when they get revealed rather than every single symbol that gets revealed. Different things like that. You could totally maybe start with more cards than just 1 blue each, you know? So it's up to you. If you want to house rule this to make the game easier, you could totally do it. But again, the game does have a lot of different difficulty settings here to make it harder. It goes up to 8, I think it was. Yeah, this is the 8 board here. So yeah, I love this game. It plays well solo. It plays well cooperatively. And this is a winner for me. I can't say enough good things about it. So definitely check out Tesseract. It's definitely going to be on my list for 2024 because I already released 23, but it's going to be on my list for next year for sure. Tesseract. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.